Join us. Yes, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. And today we have the Queen of Darkness herself, Shannon or Michelle, or Shannon Michelle, or I like the fact that you have a bunch of different names I can use.
Yeah.
And of course, Martha is here as well, talking all her beautiful works and things that she's doing. And of course, Roaming Tony is being all Roman.
Hey, everybody.
Folks, it is time to have some fun and get to talking. And Martha, I think we'll start with you. Let the people know who you are, what you do, all those good things. Give them the spiel.
Well, hey, everybody. I am Martha Chupp. I am a filmmaker. I have a production company now called Embrace Arm Productions, and we're located in Arthur, Illinois. We have just started. We have got our first Embrace Arm production project that Joseph and I have done will be on Folsom Television. It's called Along Came a Shadow. It'll be on there in the next few months. We're very excited about that project. We've got many things going on, very busy. Up here in Illinois now, doing a witch's grave. So y'all stay tuned for that. We're going to do a short on it for a full-length feature. You got a little teaser. Just lots of things going on. Redoing the house for a filming location. We'll be promoting it for people to be able to come here and film. Very anxious for that. Just trying to uplift the filming community here in Central Illinois.
I always love independent films. We've helped out a couple. I've been parts of a couple of them, and it's always amazing to watch. You know how you guys get together, get things done, and then put things out. You know, I can see that you are like really deep into that, especially from all the pictures that Tim sent to us. And you know, it looks like you've been working, and like you just said, you got so many projects going on. You know, what made you start all this?
Well, I'm going to say God. I moved to Dallas, Fort Worth, and I met my nephew, Joseph Herrera. And I thought he had a little YouTube channel. Well, I was starting to grow mine. And me and Joseph got to talking. Next thing I found out, he did short films and full-length features. So we have teamed up, and I guess you'd say Joseph was my inspiration. And he has took me in underneath his wing and showed me the ropes. And everybody says we're a great team, and we just enjoy putting good people together, collaborating with everybody, and having a good core group, and making films and entertaining everybody. Whether it's a horror film or whether it's a domestic violence awareness film.
Isn't it wild how much we learn about technology from our family members that are younger? Like my niece and nephew are on YouTube way before I was, and I was like, what? I don't know if their videos were that great, but they were on YouTube. But, you know, they were real little kids. What they thought was funny, I was like, okay, it's not funny, but all right, but it's cute. So
yeah. So everything just grew from there. A lot of our work is on this YouTube channel. It is monetized. And on my YouTube channel, I mostly do my fun stuff. I'll be doing more to uplift the filming community and the Arthur area and the Amish community here, and just everything about Arthur. So I'm really excited about that. I'll be teaming with some people that are local here And we got a lot of things going to be coming up. So I hope everybody stays tuned and just, oh, The Witch's Grave. Oh, that's going to be so exciting.
Quick
So,
question
yeah.
about that. Are you going to be filming in a cemetery? Which is great.
Well, I'm 50-50 on that one because I really, cemeteries are very sacred.
Yeah, I
And
love cemeteries. I don't know why. I hate horror and all that stuff, but I love cemeteries. I don't know why. Something peaceful about it, I guess. I don't know.
I love
Yeah.
cemeteries. I really love cemeteries.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but I like to read the tombstones
Yeah.
Mhm.
and see what they put on them way back because a lot of them will have little sayings like, yeah, I'm not hot and I'm not cold. That's what I remember. But I don't know. It could be done pretty easily in that particular cemetery because the way it's set up, I think, without disrupting anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have to say as long as we can get our permissions and everything will be fine. I'm planning. If not, we'll have to reproduce it somewhere else.
Mhm.
Well, that's the magic of Hollywood, per se. Is that we can cheat and make things be in another place that they're not.
I know. And before I started making movies, I really did not understand how they were made. I had a concept in my mind of how they were made, and I was way wrong. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I used to always think that movies were filmed in sequence. They're like, no, they're not. They're filmed the end first, the middle second, the beginning last, and all these kind of things. I didn't know any of that stuff going in.
Yeah. And all the day shots might be done one day, and all the night shots another night. Yeah. It's just,
Sometimes the
it's,
night shots are done in the day, and sometimes the day shots are done in the night.
yeah. We can make night into day and day into night.
Yep.
We can do whatever we need to do with the time, with the right equipment.
Oh, definitely. It's all
I
about cheating.
Yes, yes. And I learned about blood too.
Yeah.
I've learned how to make bruises, and I've learned how to make fake blood. So
It's
I think,
amazing what you learn on the set of a project.
oh my goodness, yes, yes. We did this one full length feature, and the it's called The Entity now. ITN purchased it. And we did some things in that. I was like, oh, so a real person really don't fall down the stairs? And okay, yeah, that was my first full length feature that Joseph brought me in on and stuff. And Chaselin, I was the assistant director on that one, and God knows many other things. But that was a lot of hard work and so much fun. So that was kind of my first taste of it, and I haven't stopped.
So here's the question, because Tim is the one who told me about you, and that's why we got you on the show. How did you meet Tim?
I met him through Facebook in a group, and we just really connected. And then I'm like, hey, I want to do some filming, but I need an editor because Joseph's over there and he's working like on Hallmark and all these other projects for us and our company. But I'm over here, you know, 12 hours away, and I want to do some things now. I'm impatient. So he came over here, we met, and we are going to get some things done. He is a wonderful person. I can't say enough about him. I find out something new every day.
Oh,
He,
Tim is amazing, and we love his projects here. He tends to be on the quirky side of things, which we're all quirky here.
right, right. That's what makes the world go round. If we weren't, it'd be a dull place.
And that's what I tell people all the time. Just be your quirky self and stop trying to be somebody else.
Right, right. Because I do plenty of things I laugh at myself about. Yep.
Oh, I definitely laugh at myself all the time.
Me
That's a
too.
given.
But yeah, Tim and I are going to be working on quite a few projects. Y'all stay tuned for that. Um, and like if anybody wants to collaborate with us on any of these projects that we have coming up, I hate to talk too much about them. Um, but you know how people are, they always steal your ideas. So I kind of try to be careful about what I say. Uh,
Well,
I
that's
think
the whole fun of it, is trying to figure out how to balance everything out, how to say how much you can say, how to not say too much.
right. And when not to say anything. And,
Exactly.
projects, you can't talk about them while you're doing them. You can't talk about them until after they're like released or something. Um, but yeah, um, I love it all. It's going to be a lot. Oh my goodness, that's my Lily Lillard. She is my leading lady in my domestic violence films.
Yeah,
She's in Broken and Desperate Measures both. Desperate
I knew
Measures
the computer was.
channel. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was saying I knew the computer was going to do that. It's been stopping me from showing all the beautiful pictures, and I was like, how far will I get? There we go. That should do it.
That was at the Kung Fu contest where we showed Desperate Measures for the first time.
It's
That
so
was a lot
so
of
much
fun.
fun to see, the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, that was the whole crew there. I love the old car. The cars that we used in that were freaking amazing and off the hook. Mr. Brown um, had those, and he rents vehicles out for filming.
Nice.
So, yeah, we got lucky, and he donated those. Oh, that's on the set of Detour 6, I believe. And Israel Luna's there with us, and my core group, Lainey. Yeah, she's always hair and makeup, and Joseph, of course, and our other two actors. I'm not sure which ones those are. Oh, I can't think of his name all of a sudden. That's crazy. She's a Jackson, Pamela Jackson, and Stoner, Miles Stoner.
There you go. You got it. I figure if you waited long enough.
He's up in, yeah. Oh, and there we are with oh, I cannot. I put a block on his name. We were having a tiff. Joseph and Laney and me and Deshaun. He's also a filmmaker in Dallas, well, in Fort Worth. Um, he's got his own thing going on over there.
I have a feeling my computer's not going to help me out there. But I feel like we saw enough to show that you are having a great set. One of the things that I love to see, especially when I'm helping people out when it comes to the film projects, is a great set, because you want to be a part of something that's fun, not stressful, and gets things done.
Yes, always. And the first thing I do when everybody comes on set is I like to get them settled in, let them know where the snacks are, let them know where the coffee is and the water is, and make them turn their phones down. Because I'm the one that yells, quiet on set! Oh, I'm sorry if that was too loud. So,
It probably woke some people out there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, folks, wake up! Come on. I should probably
I
put out
love
in the
that.
video. At a certain part, you're all gonna wake up.
Yeah. So we're just getting into the horror films, or I am with Joseph. I think he's on a few before me. And I love it. And I can't wait. I've got some really weird things in my mind for moving forward in the future as far as the horror goes. So yeah, stay tuned, see what Martha comes up with and who she comes up with it with.
Exactly.
You know, me and Tim's gonna be doing a lot. So Joseph will be coming in with us doing things. So it's gonna be exciting.
It sounds like it. You like I love seeing the passion and the amazing people who work on things because if you can see the person, sometimes you can understand how much passion and how great their work is going to be.
It's true.
Because if
Yeah.
not, man.
I think that's true. I think that is true. I like that too.
Yeah, because you want to bring it, you want to see it, you want to feel it, you know.
Yeah. You get excited with them, and when you see it come to life, it's just even better. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
So, Queen of Darkness, let's go to you now and let the people know who you are, what you do, all the good stuff. Come on, give us
Sure.
the spiel.
It's gonna be a while. Um, I am the Queen of Darkness. My name is Shannon Michelle Collins. I am an author, model, poet, paranormal investigator. I just filmed an episode of Dark Echoes Paranormal. So that should be airing on Amazon Prime and on Paraflix within the next few months. I'm really excited. I did have permission to say that. So
Well, I
I
hope
write,
so, because you revealed all this on
otherwise I'd be in a lot of
on
trouble.
your Instagram.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I write a lot of dark poetry, and my poetry comes from, and some of my poetry, most of it comes from a spirit attachment that I have that I got from investigating a location here on Long Island in
Mhm.
Southampton at the Thomas Halsey Homestead. I am with the group Long Island Paranormal Investigators, and we were doing public events there, and I wound up getting a ghost flu, I guess, and it stuck with me. And so I channeled this spirit, and that's where my poems come from. Automatic writings from the feelings and impressions that I've gotten. It's not just that location that I've done it with, I've done that with other locations where I've gotten impressions from, but that's like the one that really, sticks with me.
Stuck with you.
Yep, literally.
Exactly.
So.
It, so were you a writer before the attachment?
I had written before. In like second grade, I won first prize for my little Halloween story. Um, but it wasn't like it's not the same. It's completely different.
I was about to say, because if you're a writer, then it's a whole different type of writing that you're doing. So
Yeah.
I feel like you'll be able to tell the difference between your writing and that writing.
Yeah, I could show and the transition between like
Mhm.
just the genre of where it went.
Well, you're just you're an instrument for the spirit writing, right? It's really the spirit writing, or is it a mix of the two?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm proud.
I'm sure it's not easy to explain. So yeah, I mean,
I'm proud.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So were you a ghost hunter first?
yes, and I wasn't purposely channeling that night, and I wasn't automatic writing that night. That happened by accident because I had said I was investigating with my paranormal team. To backtrack a little bit, at that point I was in the group for, I want to say, maybe like 10 years, 11 years, and as I said, we were doing public investigations to try and gain funds to put back into the historic locations
Right.
that we were investigating. And that night, it was a quiet night. We only had one public group when we had multiple sessions normally. So we decided to continue to investigate and see what we can get. And so in my head, I was asking questions and saying things. And I said, you know, show me what happened. Tell me. Like, I know, I just need you to tell me. Like, I thought I was speaking to someone else. And then and then then all of a sudden I was no longer me.
That must be an interesting moment.
It definitely was an interesting moment, I guess, looking back on it. In the time, it was very traumatizing. I felt very misunderstood. It was scary, um, especially to explain to people who aren't in the paranormal field, who would just probably think that I completely lost my mind, and I might have. But it was a lot. But with the help of friends, I got through it.
I was about to say, because if like you said, if you don't understand um, what's going on, what's happening, then it gives you a whole other different understanding of things.
Right.
And I know that when you deal with people like that, it gets difficult to, like Tony was saying, to explain exactly what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, in that moment, did the spirit, like, did it like maybe, I don't know, kind of like explain like how it passed away, or are
Mm.
they like even aware that they passed away, or?
So the impression that I have gotten from the spirit is that they kind of did that themselves,
Oh.
and they did that. I don't know what we're allowed to say, but they did
Hmm.
that. Um,
So far, you're safe, so don't worry.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
they by hanging, I believe,
Mm.
because whenever see, like right now, my throat will get real tight when I
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
no, that's okay, that's okay. I'm at this point, it's been like uh almost 4 years, so
Wow.
I'm kind
Okay.
of getting used to the different things. Sometimes you might see a shift in my personality, or sometimes in my eyes or whatever. Some people say they see a change in that, because she is still with me, but for the most part, it's okay. There was a lot that I went through in the beginning. It's not as much now. As I said, I think I've just gotten used to a lot of it, but
Hmm.
I'm actually almost done with my book that I have coming out about this whole experience. It goes into like a lot of detail that I've not publicly disclosed because, again, I don't know who's going to be watching, and I don't want to, you know, upset anyone with the
We
things
get
that
you,
have
yeah.
happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
keep it
especially
light.
this topic, especially the way they died, is sensitive to some people.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I can't prove it. These are my impressions, and this is
Hmm.
Right.
what I was shown, and so I'm not gonna say that by what I'm saying is 100% fact, or like this definitely absolutely happened. This is just what I was shown and how I interpreted what she was telling me. So I just wanted to put that out there, because there is
Well,
still people attached to the other family line, and I don't want
right.
to be disrespectful to
Yeah, yeah.
anyone's family. I'm very worried tonight about offending
It
anyone.
makes sense because you're dealing with something, and you also have ancestries and people who are still around, and there's a lot to juggle. Which brings me another question. Then, when you're doing your ghost hunting, or when you're visiting each location, uh, it doesn't always work out the way this one worked out. So, because I feel like that would be like, I think you need breaks after all that.
Honestly, I didn't think anything like this could ever happen in real life. I thought that this was something that only could happen in movies. Um, I just, even like looking back on it, and I'll say to them like, like, am I crazy? And the people that were there that night are like, no, like this actually happened. Like and they witnessed it. They witnessed the facial changes, expression. And my face didn't morph like into anything else. It's just sometimes when you're not yourself, your expressions are just not you, and you can
Right.
tell, and that will change somebody's whole entire face and demeanor. And that's what I mean when I say like my face will change. So I don't expect it to like morph into like, because if it could, I wouldn't, I'd be a lot further in my career. Just saying.
Man, that'd be a great talent.
Right? Like on the craft. Whew, somebody
Exactly.
else.
Here's the thing you were talking about. Like I said,
Yeah.
you had revealed it on Instagram.
Yes, yes, that was a good time. Very lucky to have had that opportunity. Um, very, very, very cool. So I'm not sure exactly when it comes out, but the show itself is out now. So it's a good
How
show.
do you find the show? That way
It's on
people can.
Amazon Prime and on
Okay,
Paraflix.
there you go, folks. And here's another question for you. Then you're also a model, so how did all that come into play? What came first?
Paranormal investigating came first.
Okay.
Spirit attachment came first.
Oh wow.
With that came a like 75-pound weight loss.
Wow.
Well, spirit attachment and
Mm.
COVID combined. And
That would do it for you.
the poetry came out, and
That's not fair. We all gained weight during COVID.
I lost a ton.
Well, that's good.
I'm actually, I think I'm very lucky that I was heavy before, because I don't know what would have happened if
Oh
if
wow,
I wasn't,
yeah. That's an interesting
realistically. Yeah,
thought there. Yeah.
yeah. Because I literally could not eat anything. But that was another rough time, and that going on with all that and having the attachment kind of, I think, made it worse, because I was just stuck alone with it and my thoughts. And that's when I wrote a lot more. I was getting a lot more of those writings that kind of really just sat with it, because I wanted to know what the heck was going on. I
Right.
did a lot of my research, and I didn't know how to get rid of it. I had tried a few different cleansings with some friends,
Right.
and it wasn't working. Every time it would make it worse. So I had an idea. I'm like, well, maybe she just wants her story told. So I had printed all of my poems out, and I had recorded myself reading them out loud in the order that I had gotten them.
Right.
And the weird thing is when I printed them out, they didn't print out in the right order. So the order that they printed out, that's how I kept it. And when you kept it that way, it went all in a line, all in a row. So it was really weird. It told like its own tale. I never kept it that way for the release, but for my own personal use, I had it. Anyway, so we went back to the location. This was during COVID. It was in March, and we set up a bunch of cameras, a bunch of equipment that lights up.
Right.
We put audio in like every room that we had that stuff in, and all of us left the location, and we sat in front of the house. We sat out there for about 20 minutes or so, however long it took for the recording of me reading the poems to end.
Right.
And then we came in, and in that time we got a ton of audio evidence, EVPs, spirit voices, responding to my poems. Some were saying, I hate her. Some were saying, Tom, why? Which was the name of the guy that lived in the home. How could you do this? They told me to leave. They would beg for me to come back. If I wasn't there, they'd tell me to come. If I went, they would tell me to leave. I got called names. So it turned out that the person that I thought I was speaking to would have been his wife, who had been murdered on the property. That's not who I was speaking to. I believe who I was speaking to might have been a mistress. By that, I feel bad saying that.
Makes complete sense. Yeah.
But based on the writings and the things and the feelings and the
That also makes sense why she would react the way to you, because if you have that energy, then she would see you that way too.
it was rough, and I feel it's tough. So, but again, that's just my take on it. So awkward silence. Why is everybody quiet? Am I a bad guy now?
No awkward silence. It just happens every once in a while. But, it's just like in regular conversation, and since the show is like regular conversation, then you're gonna have that one little moment where everything goes, oh, that was relaxing.
Well, I know I'm a weirdo, and it's a lot to take in.
No.
We're all weirdos.
I enjoy
I
being a
just feel like
weirdo.
I just feel like
I
thinking.
wouldn't
being
want
a
it
weirdo.
any other way. I couldn't
I just
imagine
think
just being
it's
like a
like
stick in the mud.
it's like a supernatural soap opera, but it's recorded on the EVP. Like this is just it's just
I'm
Exactly.
thinking
getting
about
I'm
that stuff.
doing
That's why I was quiet and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it's crazy. I definitely have the evidence to back it up. So
Yeah.
it's it's
I'm happy
scarier, I
you guys
think,
went back
knowing
and
that
got
I
all that
have that.
information. Yeah.
The
Because
weirdest,
in my head I'm like, okay, we need to go back.
yeah.
I've heard recordings before. Those are creepy, man. Like
Oh
you hear people say things. It's like what? Those are
Posted
creepy.
them and I posted them on my face, and everybody always wants to hear it, and I post them, and then it doesn't have any. Nobody nobody looks at it. So I don't know. It's there if you scroll around, I guess. If you go through my videos, you might be able to find some
I've
of
I've
the
heard it.
EVPs.
I've seen you put up a couple of the sounds. So and I've heard a couple of them. So I'm like, okay, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah. So,
Martha, let me ask you because we're talking about ghost hunting here, and it's funny because when I saw the Amish haunting, at first I was like, oh, they were ghost hunting, you know. Uh, I know that you guys because I Tim sent me what you're working on for that particular story. He sent me the history of it, and I delved into it a little bit, because I'm big on supernatural stuff as well. And I was what made you decide this project? Because I can see why you would pick it, but what made you decide?
I have an Amish background,
Ah,
and I believe that she didn't have an Amish background. Um, and it's in this area where I grew up at. Uh, I wanted to do something, and it's based on a true story. So I think all of that makes it so exciting to me because my hometown, and the witch's grave. I mean, really, that's pretty cool, I think. Um, just being able to come back here and start a project and hopefully get locals involved. And I think it's going to go places. But girl, I would love for you to come. What you do is
who,
just
me?
so fascinating. Yes, you.
Oh, I would love to.
I'm just like sitting over here. I can't. I'm never speechless, but you made me speechless.
Oh, wow.
I'm
That's
just like,
cool.
wow, that is. Yeah, I would love to connect later.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
it's funny
I'm
that you
sending
say
you
that because
hearts.
I was sitting there and I had you on already, and it was earlier in the day, and I was like, you know what? Let me ask if Shannon will come on. And I sent her a message, and I hadn't heard back from her. I was like, okay, but I had that feeling of you should ask Shannon if she wants to be on the show tonight. So yeah,
Oh, thank
I
you.
was like, something was like, hey Ralph,
Yeah,
Mark, you
I don't
still
know.
another project?
I'm
life is like that.
yeah.
Most people don't listen to that little voice. Most people don't admit to that little.
It was
I got
funny 'cause,
nervous. I was afraid you wouldn't see my response in time. I was like, "Oh no, I hope you see it."
Well, the
no,
same thing.
it was funny because like Ralph, like like we have a chat with all the people that are on the show. He asks who's gonna be on. He says I could be on, and then I, not naming names, I like ratted off all the people that I told. Like, don't hope this person's not on. That person's not on. But nah, don't worry, I love everybody. I'll be on. I'm so happy that yay, somebody I like is on. But because I was like, oh, not that person, not that person.
Oh no.
I was like, we're on the show every week, man. You're not gonna. But everybody's
Yeah,
cool. But I jive better with some people than other people. Leave it
it
at that.
That's the
happens.
way it is.
Yeah.
It's just the energy. Sometimes we vibe better with
Yeah.
some people, and sometimes we
Yeah.
don't.
But yeah, I'm glad it's Shan. I didn't think you were on because she wasn't even in the preview, right?
Oh, because I was trying to ask her so I can get her into the promo, but
Sorry.
I didn't see her answer till like later on.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
actually
I like
really
being on with
enjoyed that
people. Like,
promo. That was a really, really good promo.
yeah,
I liked it a
yeah.
lot.
I mean,
I,
unfortunately,
I love making those promos.
Ralph's still here, but what can you do? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I had to creep somebody out. Come on.
Oh Oh,
I'm just kidding. That's my brother from another mother. You know.
oh, yeah.
We've known each other for a long time. Me
Mm,
and Tony.
before we were born, pretty much. like yeah, parents are friends. So
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
His father and my father used to be in the same band together.
Yeah.
A
I love
merengue band.
that.
It was a
Yeah.
merengue band.
What?
It was a merengue band.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Los
Father played
Nietos de Jre,
I
right?
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it right? Los Nietos de Jre? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't remember their name. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
See, but it was funny, though, because I heard him, again, the little voice goes, go check. I'm like, okay, I'll go check, but she's not going to. And that's when I found your answer, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. I was like, yeah, you're right on. Get in. We'll have you on.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've changed the way I do the show now. Because before I would like try to plan it out, and that started to have its own problems. And I was like, okay, from now on, what I'm going to do is this is what I'm planning. I'm going to ask certain people. They show up. They show up. They don't show up. They don't show up. Because the show is just a big conversation of what we're having.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Shannon, I know that I saw a couple of conventions that you have set up already to for the next coming up.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to remember them.
I was going to say, do you remember which ones? So what's your next one then?
That dress you had at WinterCon was amazing.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
it was like this
That was so much
it
fun.
was like this ballroom goth thing. It was amazing.
Yeah. I actually got a piece to go under it to make it pop out more on the sides, like the French. I forget what it's called, but the sides. When you walk
Make it
like
all
this.
fluffy. Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm doing some paranormal conventions.
I saw that pop up on my
Yes.
feed. Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying. There's a Roaring 20s ball at Wilson Castle, I
Ooh.
believe, in October. And then I'm also headlining an investigation there with Salem Star and David Childers. That is in May, I believe. I have a few things going on in May. I have something
Oh,
going
yeah.
on in April. I will be posting them to my socials as it gets closer. I'm still waiting to hear back from a few events. I really hope that they call me back because I love them. I love being a part of them. But if not, there's always another time. So
Well,
everything
especially
happens for a
with
reason.
conventions. Exactly, especially with conventions because there's so many of them. So
Yes, who knows? I could be hanging out with Martha. So we'll see. Miss Martha.
I was about to ask you, Martha, have you hit the conventions yet?
No, I have not. I'm just now getting into the paranormal. My sound guy, he's really been into the paranormal, and so I have just started like following what he's doing and other people that are doing that type of thing. And there's a few places I would like to have someone with experience to go with me to. Um,
Ooh.
I believe there's one called something Estates, Ashmore Estates.
Mm.
Ooh.
I would love to go there with the right person. I think that would be a lot of fun. They promise paranormal activity.
Yeah, it's so incredible to experience something like that, especially if you've never had a paranormal experience. To hear maybe like a disembodied voice or to be touched by something that's not there or have something move. Like before I had stuff moving around my room. I don't know, earlier when you were talking, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but if you saw me like looking around, I'm like, please don't throw anything on camera. That never happens. But it's really cool to have those kinds of experiences. So I hope you get to have that.
Oh yeah, I've had a few already, and so I am a believer.
Yeah.
Uh, we used to have this man named Mr. Wilk. He used to come cut the water on, and then I'd have to get up and cut it off. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Wow.
So yeah, and you hear his footsteps going to the bathroom, and you hear his footsteps walking back away. And yeah, it was weird. That was my first experience, I think.
That's really cool.
I can't say I've ever had any like supernatural experiences, but there are a couple of things that are just weird that are a little hard to explain. Like I've had times I've known someone who's gonna pass away before they pass away. You know, certain just weird things sometimes. But nothing like, I mean, not I've never seen a spirit or anything that I know of, but I believe there's something out there's something's going on that I don't understand. I believe that much.
It's just
That's the way to
weird.
go.
Yeah.
You have to at least be open to it, because there's just too much that we can't explain. I think sometimes man likes to think he understands everything, and that just gets dangerous.
I think it's healthy to be an open-minded skeptic, to not
Mhm.
go into every location thinking, you know, it's haunted or it's the, you know, the demon word or whatever. Is that me?
That is you. That's
Sorry.
the dress.
Um, you know, you want to go in with an open mind to figure out, is there actually something going on here, or is it spirit activity? Because if you just go in and you don't really do the investigating behind it, then you're kind of
Yeah.
you're shorting yourself of the experience, I think. Does that make sense? I don't know
Oh,
if
that
that makes
makes
sense.
complete sense, because I'm usually the skeptic, even though I believe in a lot of things. I'm usually the skeptic, because I'm like, okay, we got to relax here. Certain things can be explained. You need to get rid of the explanations
Because it's
before.
more,
Yeah.
it's more fun when you cannot explain where it came from.
Yeah.
You know, when you cannot explain that. Like me and one of our investigators, Julie, we were at Penhurst in one of the tunnels, and we heard footsteps coming down the way. Now, we could see nobody was there, but we could hear it. So we decided to leave because our time is up. We were doing rotations. We start heading back down that way, and there were puddles because it had rained, and there was a bare footprint going towards the direction that we had come from. Now, we
Wow.
both had shoes on.
Mm.
Nobody had come in, and we had heard the footsteps coming towards us. The footsteps weren't going back the other way. And that's just creepy, you know? How do we explain that? It was fresh,
Mhm.
you know, like, ooh.
If I was there, this would be my version of the story. I heard footsteps. Okay, I left. That's it.
No, we waited, like we did our thing. We asked questions. We asked, can you
Yeah,
come
there's a
closer?
big will it be, man?
I gotta
Well,
say,
we had to go past it to get out.
Wow.
it takes some bravery in order to do it.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
most people will be like, okay, I'm out of here.
I enjoy it because it gives you, like, for me personally, I get like an adrenaline. I enjoy
Right,
it. I really
right.
enjoy being in historic places in the dark for some. I like it.
They're mostly harmless, right? Even though it's just scary though, hearing noises and things like that, but they're mostly harmless, right? Like
Yeah. Well,
you never
usually,
hear
but
about
sometimes
them.
you just don't know. So always be
Yeah,
careful, and it's something to play around with. Like, definitely be
right, yeah.
careful and keep
Like
yourself
the
protected.
worst is like they might knock something on top of you or something like that. Like I would think. I mean, some people say
Maybe.
stories.
I don't mean to laugh at you. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
just imagining it in my
Oh,
head.
it's
I'm just
funny.
picturing it.
Oh yeah, look at all the fingers of this.
It's funny. Tony's funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your
The model
question.
came apart than the bruises. The 250-piece model that it's even put together of. But I've heard some stories about things following spirits and things like that following people home, and
Yeah.
they're not, it's like not fun, like like, but for some people it's not fun. It's like they really try to get rid of it. It's really, and they can't, no matter what they do. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It's really tough. It's really, really tough.
yeah.
And they could attach on objects as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's why you
just
always
be
hear the
careful if you
stories.
go. Yeah,
Somebody
antique
picking
shopping.
something up, took it home with them, took the ghost home with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you ever hear that listen to that podcast, Bizarre States, they've been on for like a while, but
Yeah.
they tell a story about this mirror that they found out was haunted. So then they got the mirror, and then they got the mirror, and they gave it to somebody who didn't believe in spirits, didn't believe in ghosts, didn't believe in anything. He gave him the mirror for 2 days, and he was like, you know what? Get rid of this mirror. I don't want this. Get rid away from me, because of like so many bad things happened with that mirror. So
Yeah.
it's pretty wild.
This mirror is spooky. Has my little old lady friend in there. This one
Oh,
here.
wow.
That's
Yeah.
a nice mirror. Yeah.
That was like given to me. Please. And I'm like, why? I don't want your mirror. We were at we were doing an investigation. I'm like, please, I really just don't want your stuff. And then I felt bad just like getting rid of her. You know, it's just she's just attached to that. She doesn't do anything. She's fine. She's just whatever. But couldn't throw her away. But yeah, so I hung her up.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm a big believer on objects having a life of their own. So, yeah.
Energy,
exactly.
you're constantly putting your energy into that, So I talk a lot sometimes. I either don't talk at all or you can't shut me up.
No, you're fine. It's been a great conversation. You got Martha over there pretty silent.
I feel bad. I'm not giving her a chance to talk.
No, I love it. Go ahead. I'm always talking.
She's over there listening to the whole thing going, I got an idea.
I got 5 ideas.
See, look at that. I know the writer aspect of things, so I'm like, I know what she's doing over there.
She wrote like 5 movie scripts in her head. That's what she's been doing. They know what you said.
I gotta say, Martha, I know you're creative as well, and you're a writer. That it's funny how these ideas just come to us. Speaking of this, and these muses that we have, and because I can tell you off the bat that I have many muses, and they come and they go, and some of them are more powerful than others, and certain people are more powerful than others, and certain people I don't tell nothing to, and they're giving me stories. So Martha, where does your stuff come from?
Life experiences. I've had a very colorful life. Some things just come to me. I know that's crazy, but I'll just be sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to write that down. And then I add to it.
Yep.
And kind of let it grow. I might talk to somebody about it. And they'd be like, oh, well, you know what? This happened. And then I can incorporate other things in with my story, other ideas. And then it just grows. And then we got a script. And got an idea that's turning into a script. So, yeah, I'm pretty lucky, I think. I also have Joseph. He's a very creative writer, too. And so I have him to kind of, look over my things and give me more suggestions.
I'm happy you said all those things because, a lot of writers or people who want to write, sometimes they sit there and they don't realize half the stuff that you're saying. Because, like I'll tell people all the time, it's not that complicated. To become an author, to level up, that's a whole different thing. But to get stories and to write them down is not that complicated. Or, you just look at your life and you write stories. And then people go, well, my life is boring. No. You just think it's boring.
Right. There may be a lesson to be learned, or maybe you can uplift somebody. I really like to make people laugh, and I like to uplift them whenever I can. That makes me happy. And if I can do that through entertaining them, whether it's giving a jump scare in a horror film or a laugh, at something they can't believe we just did, that's a good day for me, I think.
It is. And the other aspect of things that you're saying is sometimes, as writers, we tend to seclude ourselves. We don't like giving, because it's a balance. Sometimes you don't know who you can trust, who you can't trust, but you work better when there's a bunch of writers hanging out talking. Because, it gets the ideas flowing, it gets the writing going.
Oh yes, yes,
You know, because
yes.
I know that you know for a long time I wouldn't share any of my writings because I'll be like, oh, they're gonna take it, they're gonna steal it, and then my partner Kadma from the show, she was like, Ralph, you have to like you know just put it out there, see what's going on. You know, you don't give them the whole thing, but you know you have to, you know, congregate with your fellow writers and
You have to trust the people that you talk to about your
right.
projects. Um, in this industry, they will steal your stuff.
Mm.
Unfortunately, if they can do something before you can do it, sometimes they will.
Yeah, I
Uh,
always say the same thing though. They're gonna do it, but they're not gonna do it like me.
Yeah.
exactly. Nobody can do it like Martha can.
Exactly. See, you know, and because I've seen people take like an idea that I have and they go a whole different way with it, and I'm like, that's pretty interesting. I wasn't going in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, as you know it as well. You know, we all know it. Stories are they're alive. They change. They move. They breathe. They you know each person can raise that story to be a completely different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if it is about your life, it doesn't have to be exactly.
Yeah.
It can be based on something. Joseph kind of taught me that. Um, sometimes we just sit down and we just talk back and forth, and then we come up with an idea, or he comes up with an idea and a concept and writes it off the story that we talked about, but yet you won't know that it's from our personal life or our story of our life because he'll turn it to where it still has the same meaning in the end, but it'll be different. I just love his creativity. I'd have to say he's really creative.
It's funny that you say that because if you look at Tolkien's work, what he's writing about is his experience in the war. But if you didn't know that, you would not see it in the book in the story because you know, yeah, it is. There's a war and all that stuff in it, but you know, you wouldn't think that's the main idea. You would think it was something else.
Right, right.
I was just thinking like when TV was at its best, like and this is something that they were pretty much getting away, trying to get rid of, and so one of the reasons why we had the strike. When TV was at its best, you had like these writers' rooms, and it was a whole bunch of writers. You had the head
Mhm.
writer would come up with something, and then everybody would come in with ideas, and then
Yep.
below all of them, you have like the lowest level of people that they didn't know anything about writing, but through the process of watching everything, they were learning everything. So those people, when it works, those people all the way at the bottom, they would go up, and then they will be head writers, and then they would do the same thing. They would instruct the next group of writers, and that's like kind of like when I mean, that's like 80s, 90s. That's like when TV was at its best, I think, you know. But a lot of times it's not like that anymore. I mean, they had to actually put that in the strike in the that's actually put that in the strike that shows need to have a head writer, and this is why, you know. So we're getting a lot of bad TV basically. A lot of shows didn't have head writers. It's just crazy. So you know.
Yeah, you know, it goes back to what we're saying. You know, you need that fellowship. You need that place so you can be creative. You need the place where you can be your weird little self. Because everybody's
Exactly.
always trying to make you not weird.
I know. Weird is good. I don't understand people. Different is good.
You know, all everybody wants is for you to be like them, and then when you're like them, they're like, "Why are you being like me?"
Yeah.
I know, but see, I don't like to be in the box. I like to be outside the box.
I can't handle the box. I,
Right?
I have issues. I have authority issues. I have box issues. I have a lot of issues.
Me too.
I'm always like trying to get out of things.
Right? Right?
Narrow me down, people. Stop trying to let me be my crazy, wild self, which is what the show allows me to do. Allows me to just be me to the wildest form of me. Because if you see me on a usual, You might get a tamer version. But with the show going, I have to come up here. And sometimes I'm up here on the normal, but that's a whole other. So, ladies, where can they find you? All the good stuff. Give us the links so we can know where everybody can go check you out. Go ahead, Martha. You start.
Martha's Time Be Happy Now on YouTube. I have an Instagram, Martha Chupp. I think I have a Snapchat, Martha Chupp also. I have an IMBD page if you want to see the films that I've done. Just look up Martha Chupp. Or if you forget all of that, just Google Martha Ann Chupp and everything should pop.
I love it.
And you got tons and tons of projects coming. We'll work with this one here. Look out for all the beautiful stuff that Martha will be working on. Keep this in mind, and of course, our pal Tim is working on this with her, right?
Yes, we're going to be working on a lot of projects together. I just adore him.
Folks, and we all know that Tim has a wild imagination, just from that Kickstarter that he had a while back with the beautiful idea. It was great. All right, Queen of Darkness, tell everybody where they can find you.
I can be found on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at @adream_within_a_scream. And I'm on Facebook as Velma Von Dinkenstein. I also have a model page on there, Shannon Michelle. And I have a website, adreamwithinascream.com.
And you said the next book is coming soon, right?
Yes. It's going to the editor very shortly, so I can't wait to get it back.
So here's another question, because I'm on multiple pages of yours. The Velma persona, where did that come from?
Velma? Okay. So when all of this happened and the COVID thing and all that stuff, I had like an identity crisis. And because I was doing the paranormal investigating and stuff like that, I thought that it would be fun. I wanted to go to, because we were doing an event, convention, I think it was Eternal Con, and I wanted to go as Velma to bring attention to our table. And that's where it started. And then I got a lot of people that were very into Velma, so I kind of wanted to change my name because I didn't want people to know my personal information. But then I came out with like the book and everything like that, so I kind of had to. And now that's why I'm stuck with all these different names. Like I love Velma Von Dinkenstein for helping me figure out who I am today. So I'll always be grateful for that little period in my life. But it was definitely interesting. That's where it came from.
It's funny.
You're like the exact opposite of Velma. Velma was always like, ghosts are not real. I used to hate
it's funny.
Oh, I used to hate those. I was like, shut up, man. They're real. It's like, no. This old man chickens with a mask. Like, oh, dang it. Velma's right again.
That's usually what happens,
exactly.
On investigations. We find the ghost and then we rip off their mask, and it's usually the neighbor up the road.
It's funny that you say that, but there's a huge Velma fan out there, and I feel like people realized it when that Velma show we won't talk about showed up, and everybody was like, "What's this crap?"
No, I was before like that. Velma was big before that, and I never realized how many people were like really like into Velma.
Yeah,
and
a lot
of realize what I was walking into there with that one. So, yeah.
It always amazes me. Like as a kid, I liked Velma, but I was like, okay, whatever. And then I got to be an adult, and I was like, oh, Velma. I'm like, I thought I was by myself back then. The hell, where do you people come from?
Yeah, and then when that show came out, I feel like it kind of caused a lot of things
Oh, definitely.
for that. I don't want to get again. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, like when something comes in that people don't like, they go back to like the old stuff, like that new Lord of the Rings series. On Amazon, people didn't like it, but they said that the sales for the movies and the
Yeah.
books went way up for Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
There were people who
Because
like
people
they
like
hated
the originals. They like what they're used
yeah.
to.
There
They're
were
like,
people who hated the Peter Jackson movies, like when they were coming out, and now that new series came out, they're like, you know what, this wasn't that bad. You know what? Perhaps I was too harsh. You know, like that.
It's the same thing with the Star Wars prequels. People were like, "Oh my god, they suck." Now they love them.
Yeah. I mean, compared to the new stuff, it was like, you know what? I don't know.
Of course, folks, we had to geek out a little bit here. Let's see what we got over here to share with you guys. Let's see if my computer will help me out here. I know he knows I'm about to replace it, so let's see. Here we go. Write Wars, folks. You got to go check out Write Wars. If you're looking to help your writing out, this is the game for you. It's a video game. You fight the battle one sentence at a time, so you can win the war. You put your sentence out there. They put their sentence out there. You all vote on your sentence, and then you pick the best sentence to move the story forward. That's Write Wars. And it's on Kickstarter right now. So if you want to go jump into this and check it out, go check out Write Wars. I got to tell you, this thing looks awesome, and I'm already a VIP member with them. So when they do the alpha, I will give you more information. But check out Write Wars. Go support the Kickstarter.
Very cool.
And of course, if you want to be a hero, then be a hero. We all love role playing here. So go check out We Can Be Heroes. It's a fantastic little role playing game. They're doing extremely well on their Kickstarter. But go check this out. If you've ever wanted to be a hero in a role play, then this is the way to go. We Can Be Heroes is just right up your alley. And who doesn't want to be a superhero?
I want to be the villain. Sorry.
Of course, I think they're doing a supplement to do, because I know people are going to want to be the villain.
Yeah, we brought that up last time. Say, what about the villains?
Yeah, and they said that. They was like, "Oh, we're gonna do a supplement. We're gonna bring that up soon."
Yeah, I want to be one.
I think my computer over here is not helping me today. I feel like, you're
if only you had a new computer.
I do. I have new computers right there, but I still got to finish cleaning.
We all chipped in. We all chipped in. It was Nat's idea, I think. We all chipped in to get him a new computer. Still hasn't hooked it up yet. So
yeah, life is funny. Even when you have something.
We're waiting.
Am I back yet? Yes, I'm back. All right. Folks, check this out here. I found it on Facebook. I was just going through my feed, and it popped up my feed there. It's called Dungeons and Dimwits. They're doing pretty well. They're already funded. I love the art. It looks beautiful. Go check it out if you love Dungeons and Dragons. And I think that's all I have, unless Mr. Nat has something, but he's been really quiet. Nat?
Phil Franco has a Kickstarter currently going live, which is their wonderful slice of life comic that is currently on a Kickstarter. Then followed by that, we also have Horse in Hell, which is our good friends over at Bad Bugs Media, also on their last days. And following that, we have Pat Shand on his final Kickstarter currently going on, which is give me a second. And Private Dance issues 1 and 2 currently on 45 hours. We also have a bunch of other friends who have also Kickstarter, so go check them out. Ralph will probably post them on the Instagram. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Nat comes in and saves the show.
I feel like he's like the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. Tony, you got anything?
Nah. That's about wrapped it up.
Well, he just posted up his Tony type up. He posted it up last Tuesday, so it's fresh. Go check it out.
Yeah.
It's on the site. It's on Bitnapple. You guys, dude, if you like Tony's sense of humor here on the show, you'll love Tony's sense of humor on his write-ups because they are amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yesterday was my birthday, so birthday present. Go check it out.
That's right.
There you
Happy belated birthday, Tony.
Million years old, but way older than I look. But hey, thanks.
That's the good thing about being Hispanic.
Hispanic, don't panic. Yeah.
This weekend, I think is no. Well, there's a bunch of cons happening this weekend, but I think we will probably try to hit Mocha like we did last year next weekend. Yeah, I think Mocha is next weekend on the 16th.
Very cool.
Yeah, Mocha is the independent comic con. So if you want to go check out indies, it's the place to go. It's in Manhattan. It's on 23rd Street. Of course, like Nat said, we'll be posting more information. We'll tag it up on the Instagram. I constantly tagging people up on Instagram, showing what the beautiful stuff they're doing, because we need to raise each other up, folks.
Also, very important note, since Mr. Hagar isn't here, Maiden in Disguise manga chapter volume 2 is currently going to be going live very soon. Don't forget to hit that follow to be notified when it goes live, because it will be approaching very soon before you know it.
Definitely. And we all know that she does amazing work, so you go check it out. And of course, like last time, you can get it in English or Japanese. There you have it, folks.
I don't think that was confirmed.
Come on. I like the first one being in English or Japanese. I'm going to have to get on top of it.
That was a volume, not the individual issue.
Is she doing individual issues?
For this one, yeah.
Interesting. Well, and she's taking a whole different direction with this one, right?
Workflow's different. She's no longer she's only doing storyboarding. All the art is being offset to another artist, from what I remember.
There you have it, folks. This is going to be interesting. Collector's item. With that, folks, this has been the Written Writ. And of course, on the Written Writ, I press the button, and where it stops, nobody